what I meant to say was, I think people are attracted to that badass. You get what I'm saying? Scarface is a badass. He doesn't follow the rules.
I see what you're saying.
The hip hop artists nowadays, they don't follow the rules.
They don't.
So I think that's what people in the like on one side of a civilized society, we like, being an upstanding citizen, following the law, paying taxes, even though no one wants to do it. But I'm saying, like, we respect that, like, oh, he's a good citizen, he's a good American, he has a good job, or he owns a business, or blah blah blah. But that's not what we're putting in the movies a lot of the time. We're putting in Wolf of Wall Street. He's a savage guy who's whatever.
He's gonna do whatever it takes to get by what he wants.
But that's because that goes against everything about normal people, right? Those people are not normal. They go against it. They go, I don't care about the law. I'm going to shoot people. I'm going to kill people. I'm a gangster. I'm a this. I'm a that. So we know it's not good for society, but we're attracted to it because it's an independent mindset. It's I know that you don't like it. I know that all of you don't. I know the government doesn't like it. I know the cops don't like it, but I'm going to do it because I want to do it. So most people see that, and it's appealing. You see a guy, you see a mafia guy, mafioso. Most people know that that person's not a good person, right? They're not doing good things generally. Sometimes they do.
But most of the time they're not.
Most of the time their intentions are they want to make their money and they want power and they want what they want. And they don't want anyone to tell them otherwise. But we, as a culture, we put that on a pedestal because it's sexy. Do you get that?
Yeah.
But the sooner we can start to find attraction to
our individual
good,
goals.
right? The just being a good person, and the more it'll become an attractive thing. So take for instance, I was watching this very interesting documentary the other day of this family from, I'm pretty sure they were from DR, Dominican Republic, and there was this guy Kos. He's from New York. His family's from the DR, but he grew up in New York, and he got into drug dealing, became a massive dealer. Like he's making bank. From a young age. He got arrested a bunch of times. I'm making this short. He got arrested a bunch of times. Eventually, he went to jail for 7 years. He was in solitary for, I think, 6 months, if I'm remembering correctly. I forget. I would love to have him on on my podcast, by the way. I hope I get to meet him. But after prison, and he kept going back. He got into a good college. I forget which college it was, but he messed it up because he was selling bud and I think coke on campus, and eventually they kicked him out. So he went back to it. He kept going back to it. After 7 years in prison, he also got really overweight. He had a girlfriend while he was selling the drugs. He was weighing like 300 pounds. When he got into prison, they told him, you have to lose weight or you're gonna die. Like your cholesterol is too high or whatever it was. And in prison, he lost all the weight. After prison, he came up with an idea to open up a gym with prison-style workouts. It's called Khan Body. This is you can check it out. And you can tell by his personality, he's a leader. He has a leadership personality. He's not a follower. And it simply went from being somebody who used his leadership to become a drug kingpin to using that leadership to do good. And the crazy part about it is only because he had that drug past and that crime past was he able to find that sweet spot of good, because he took that whole prison and drug life and turned it into a good thing.
100%.
And that's also so attractive to your average person, because even if they wanted to do that kind of crime, they don't have the balls, because to do these things, you have to have some level of balls.
I agree.
Right? You can't, well, you know what I mean? It takes balls, because you might get caught, you might get killed, yada yada. So he obviously has a set of balls. But it's so attractive, and I know this for a fact. I know how, especially the female brain, this kind of guy is a confident person in his own way, because he's, he was able to do all those he has a wild life. He's
not afraid to do what makes him feel comfortable.
He goes out, he went after what he wanted, whether it was good or bad. He went after what he wanted. And that is what people want to see. That's what makes an interesting story. If they made a movie about him, people would go watch it. If you make a movie about a guy who grew up in an affluent home, he grew up in a wealthy home, went to a good college, got a job, got married, had kids. Boring, right? It's boring. There's no struggle. There's no hardship. There's no. You get what I'm saying? There's no passion. There's no good and bad. Back and forth.
There was no character development.
Exactly. So this is why I think hip hop and mafia and all this stuff, specifically the bad kind of hip hop,